Hello everybody, this is fekermark from Life Through the Lens. Today I want to share something with you that I've seen, read about and been thinking about. It's the bright future of this new sport we call wing foiling. I give you here 10 reasons why I think foiling will be the biggest sport on water. Now, I saw wing foiling for the first time in 2019. Diane and I, we were out paddling our starboard all-stars boards in the afternoons, and we were watching Ruben El Nino, Salvador and Hernan Lopez trying their best to get this thing they call wing foil to work. It looked difficult from where we were, I can tell you that. The following year, El Nino Surf Shop started with wing rentals. They were the first ones here on Mallorca to do that. Our curiosity was already awakened since some time before that, and we gave it a try with a wing and a subboard. After 3-4 sessions we were hooked, and that is now how we got it, and the rest, as you say, is history. My prediction is this: wing foil will overtake windsurfing and kite surfing in popularity, and I give you 10 reasons why. Now, 2, 3, 4 years into the sport, it's clear that there's a lot of R&D going on in many companies. It's not a too wild assumption to say all established companies are on board, and new brands are joining the party every month. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and if you have a great product, you can get a big part of the market over the established brand. So the opportunities are great at this time. It was like this in the late 90s when kite surfing started. Windsurfing manufacturers got a new line of innovation and new products to produce and to make money on. Now we have wing foiling market making the same innovation evolution to windsurf and kite surfing. The race is on to develop the best wing, the best board and foil, etc. Even if the sport is in its early stages, the development of material and products is at a dwindling pace. As are the skills of the riders, as we can see in the Instagrams and Facebooks around. And millions of people already have a paddleboard. That's half the equipment necessary to start. And when they have some basic knowledge of being on a wing on a paddleboard, they can transfer to a big foil and get up on foil within not too many attempts. I know, because that's how we did it. It's a lot easier to learn than wind foil, surf foil or kite foiling. There will be no stopping when the paddlers add a wing to their lineup. And almost every day we're asked questions on the beach. What is this? What are you doing? How do you go forward? Etc. The interest of people is big. People wonder what it is, but also are intrigued on how few parts put together can make such a seemingly fun time on water possible. People are fascinated by the wing and our speed when we get up on foil. A few years back we were looking for spots around Mallorca that had the least wind, so we could have a nice long paddle session, for example a weekend morning. Now it is the opposite. We are always looking for the wind and drive wherever the wind is the best and strongest. We have changed our outlook. We are not paddlers first anymore. We call ourselves wing foilers first and paddlers second. Makes sense, right? Wing foiling is the #1 sport without a doubt. It has such a strong pull on us, and that started already after some months. It is really impressive. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see new videos, click subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of new videos coming out. I have a lot of other videos on my channel. Go check them out, the links are in the description, and share the videos with your friends to let them know about the wing foiling that you're interested in, this new sport that is spreading around the world. This reason might not be the first we think of, because how the foil looks. But compare wing foiling with, for example, kite foiling. Being strapped to a powerful kite that you can't stop. If you depower the wing or let it go, you will stop directly. Like in windsurfing. Early kite history shows many windsurfers tried it and ended up terrified. It is quite clear that strapping onto a kite 20 meters up could or is really dangerous. But the material has of course improved rapidly. There's a lot better, safer material now in kitesurfing. This situation does not happen with wing foiling, so windsurfers and kite foilers should try it out. The wing is really easy to get out of the water and then it flies. No heavy windsurf sail to pull up out of the water. And as far as the foil goes, companies like Decathlon are already selling a beginner foil with front wing and stab connected, and also in a softer material for kids to learn. And if you keep your distance from others, navigate in designated areas at the beach, the risk of accidents with the foil are quite low. We are already on an unstoppable curve right now with wing foiling. Wings take up a lot less space than kites, especially on the beach. But even in the water, you can launch a wing foil from almost anywhere. This includes spots where kites are not even allowed. Most places allow windsurfing, and you can count on wing foiling will be accepted in those places as well. You don't need much equipment to be out wing supping or wing foiling. No lines, no bar, no mast, no boom, no harness. And this is a huge advantage. 6 screws and the foil is mounted. Less than 2 minutes of pumping and the wing is inflated. And that's it. Cheaper to buy, less things to transport, less material to mount, and lastly, a lot less space on the spot where you're going to launch from. You can launch so easily as just lift up the wing up in the air and you get power. You have to admit that is pretty amazing. We go to the beach and as long as there is some wind, we can launch, always. If we're in a smaller spot with buildings or trees nearby, we can still launch where a kite wouldn't work. I can really attest to this. Diane and I started out with absolute zero knowledge of wind sports. As you can see in my video, How Much Can You Learn in a Year? It's amazing how fast we learned this fun sport. The first rides up on the foil within a week or two, and the learning continues still to this day. It's so much fun and very rewarding to go out on the water. The freedom, the speed, the being outside, meeting friends, and so much more involved around this fantastic sport. However, I do see a trend on social media. That is, everyone focuses on the best riders that can jump the most or do the craziest flips and so on. This is fun to watch for a little while, but it's not the bread and butter of the sport. The majority of people that do the sport are normal people wanting to be out on the sea, flying, and the millions of people with a paddleboard who can grab the wing and still go out even when the wind blows too much to paddle. That's where the majority of the riders are. Take your big and stable paddleboard and maybe add a central fin to make it even easier to go upwind, and then just add the wing. And you have a whole new sport to discover and enjoy. Wow, how easy isn't that? Okay, that's what's happening now everywhere. And stand-up paddle is huge. And it's so easy to add a wing and you are into a whole new world of fun. This will be huge. Unstoppable, remember? When can you ride a wing foil? I would say in almost all conditions. Signed winds are no problem to ride in. You ride out from the beach and back. Really easy to ride in them. If the wind drops, no problem. It's not like having a huge kite and 20 meters of wires attached to you. Just paddle or swim back if there's not enough wind to taxi back to shore. You can also deflate the wing, put it under you on the board and paddle back to shore if needed. You can ride in offshore winds where you would have no kiters around. However, riding in offshore winds is not advised whilst learning. You should have a good knowledge of your equipment and have necessary skills to tack up wind, and you should never go out alone in offshore winds. If you have a boat with you, that will be the best situation. Onshore winds obviously are great. If anything happens, to the worst case, that's that you blow back to shore. You ride sideways in on the onshore winds. Easy. If the shore winds are 20, 25, 30 knots or more, we do have a complicated situation launching. Here windsurfers and kiters get going in the water easier than us wing foilers. Due to the length of the foil, we need to wade out a bit to get the depth necessary to get the foil down. Maybe just over a meter usually is enough, depending on mast length of course. And in strong onshore conditions, big waves build up, and therein lies the problem. To get out through the waves, then to turn your board over, get the foil down in the water, get up on the board, keeping balance, getting the wing up, getting speed to stand up while the waves are hitting you where you can't see them. It's quite a challenge and should not be attempted without building up your skills first in smaller ways. Very important. There is a great solution. If you have a port, wave breaker or natural coastline close that give you some protection, some shelter, you can get in close to them. It will be less wavy there. Or just move to a place where the wind and the waves are not as big. If it's really not looking good, just enjoy the sea and the people riding the waves. Get your camera, why not? Conditions where we don't like to paddle in, or when the sea is messy, those conditions are now really great. Shitty conditions are a lot of fun. Many people avoid going in on days when you have waves, big swell, or just messy and choppy in the sea. But with the wing, you can really have fun then. You can use the energy in the waves to ride the foil and let the wing fly behind you. You can jump. There's so many fun things that you can do now when you can go out on those days as well. There are not many days that do not allow us to ride the foil. Many windsurfer friends I have like to have 15 knots or maybe more to have really fun. But with the wing, you can enjoy it from already at 10 knots. And that opens a lot more possibilities. And this also means a lot more session in the water. It is amazing how much fun it is. Maybe from shore you're more intrigued by the wing and then the increase of the speed. Like, how does that work? On the foil, the freedom of not being on the water above is sensational and really addictive to fly. The only time I see more windsurfers and kiter are when the conditions are rough. The 25+ knot storms that comes in here over Mallorca in winter are owned by the long-time pros of windsurf and kite. It truly looks amazing to see the flips on a windsurf or the big jumps possible with a kite. But we do see a few wings among the riders out now. Every time, every winter, there's a little bit more people in the sea with wings. But my take is that the average guy on the average day out, the wing foiler, has more fun on plenty more occasions. I ride with such joy every time. I get stoked just thinking about the next session. I check the weather at least twice a day, more often. We're on an island. The weather shifts fast and often, and we can ride in almost all conditions. The excitement is up when the color green or red appears in the weather apps. You can go places on water, go further distances, ride downwinders, upwinders, coastal cruising, circumnavigate islands, and all are a lot easier with the wing. Coming around on the lee with a kite is risky. If you drop the kite into the water, with the ease of handling the wing in almost any conditions, that makes wing foiling more accessible and a safer sport. Sometimes we paddle out to where the wind is a few hundred meters out, ride and have fun for an hour or two, and then we paddle back. We navigate around offshore islands. There are so many possibilities. I have not tried wing foiling on inland lakes yet, but there are plenty of videos on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube that shows really great wing foiling in good conditions as well as gusty conditions on lakes where you would be wary launching your kite if you even were allowed. Our playground for wing foiling is almost everywhere. It's a great workout, however hard it seems to be in the beginning, especially on the knees. I recommend getting knee protections from the start when you start learning. You use new muscles in a way you've never done before. You burn heaps of calories riding. You will be building muscles and get toned at the same time. I've never been a gym guy myself. Despite several attempts during my years, it was not just fun, but to get lean and strong at the same time as you're outside doing a sport few things beat that type of training, in my opinion. And so, there you have my 10 reasons why wing foiling will be the biggest water sport of them all. If this video has not convinced you, go out, rent a wing, borrow your friends and give it a 5-6 sessions. You need to give it some time to let it settle in. Then tell me what you think. Remember, you will then have the possibility to be on the water any day with wind. And maybe the other days, do like Diane and I, we paddle if the sea is calm. And there you have another sport which is perfect combination to wing foiling. Let me know in the comments below of your progression and what your thoughts are on learning to wing, wings up or wing foil. Okay guys, that was all from me today. Hope you have enjoyed these 10 reasons of why wing foiling will be the biggest sport of them all. It derives from windsurf and kite surf, and it will overtake them both. Mark my words. This is fekermark from Life Through the Lens, signing off. I will see you, yes, I will see you in the next video. Stay safe.